Hey, welcome back. So in this episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about downsizing. Um, so yeah, it's been quite a process, and we're still in that phase two. So we haven't downsized completely yet. When I say downsize, we're gonna be downsizing. Well, we've downsized quite a bit already. Like I said, from a big house to it's going to be which pretty much just taking two suitcases each is what Gail says. We'll see how that pans out. I don't like traveling very with a lot of crap, so we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I did purchase a brand new suitcase for this journey, basically because I only have or had one medium size bag, and that's it. Except for, of course, I have my backpack, which is my hiking backpack. And usually I just use that medium sized bag with a backpack. So we'll see how that all works out. So downsizing. Now so just a couple of suitcases or a couple of few, whatever. We're not bringing, for this first go around, for the first 2 months, we're not and when I say 2 months, I guess I kind of cut off on the very first episode. So we're going down for 2 months and then going on that trip to Jamaica. And then we plan on going back to Panama to finish out that 180 days. So when I say first 2 months, so we're going to be there for 2 months and then go on to Jamaica. So we're kind of thinking that if we know that we really like Panama and we're going to stay, then after Jamaica, we'll be going back to Panama. If in those 2 months, we're just like, this is definitely not for us, then we will move on to the next place. So that's why I say 2 months. So we have downsized quite a bit. Got rid of most of our big stuff. Our storage shed is my parents' house. They love me. I can't tell you how much they do, because putting up with, oh, I'm gonna go off and do this for a month or do this for 3 months, and all my stuff usually just gets put back at their house. So I've moved in and out of their house for quite a while. And here I am, married with my husband and doing it again. So love you, Mom and Dad. So now we're pretty much just storing, like I said, we got rid of a lot of stuff, but we're pretty much just storing some sentimental stuff. When I say some, my mom will probably laugh at that because I have a tendency to have a lot of sentimental stuff. Definitely trying to still downsize with that. My husband, not so much. Not very sentimental person. He does have a few things. So all of that stuff is going to go to their house. And as well as, like, right now, I'm packing stuff, since we don't really know if we're going to be staying in Panama or if we're going to Mexico, if we're coming back to the States. If we do come back to the States, I'm kind of packing a box for that. And why I say that is because there's some stuff that I'm like, well, I would like to keep it if we do come back, because just putting it in the truck or U-Haul or whatever and just hauling it to that place. That's not a huge deal. I don't want to completely start all over with a few things that's like, oh no, I wish I really would have kept that if we do come back. So I have a box started for that particular reason. Right now it only has 2 things in it. So I'm not really thinking it's gonna collect a whole bunch of stuff. And then the other box I have is for stuff that I would like if we decide to stay in Panama. Stuff that when we come back, it'd be nice to grab a few things and bring back down there. Because like I said, I don't really start completely over. I don't know. We'll see. I might come back and be like, why the heck did I keep this? So I have a couple piles and then, of course, a garage sale pile. Now I'm going to back up a little bit and start with how we got rid of all of our big things. Like I said, we still have a few things. I did keep, so we did get rid of like our couches and our dining room table, beds. So this was a 5-bedroom house and every bedroom had a bed. And most of them had dressers and just everything. Every room had something in it. And even above the garage, it had huge storage. It's just like shit you don't even remember that you have. So lots of stuff to get rid of. Got rid of most of it. And how we got rid of it was a very smart idea on Gail's behalf. He said that we should do a Facebook marketplace, and not really putting it on the Facebook marketplace itself, but we did a group. We started a group between our family and friends. So there we got rid of a lot of stuff. And so we just did a little intro on why we're doing this, and anyone who wants to respond, whoever wants it, first person to respond is the person who gets it. You have to come pick it up. And so we got rid of a lot of stuff that way. If it were up to him, we would have just gotten one of those big dumpsters out front and he would have just started throwing shit in it. And which we actually did have that opportunity, which it was super nice. One of the friends that got one of the sets of couches, they were actually selling their house and moving into a new one. And so they had gotten a big dumpster for their old house, and it was sitting in front of their old house for about a month or 2, I think. And so my husband comes in and he's like, well, we got a really good deal. I'm like, okay. So he told them that couches are free if we can put whatever we want in the dumpster. Yeah, we got rid of so much crap. We had I had asked him to make me some vegetable gardens, raised beds for outside, and we had those torn down and they were up in the attic above the garage for a couple years, not even being used, just a bunch of wood and just drainage tile. And so yeah, it was really nice to have that. So a little bit of a barter system instead of selling stuff, but it all worked out in the end. So got rid of all of the big stuff. The only things we have in the townhome now are the furniture that we had in the basement, which is some furniture that I have bought and made for the girls, for when their friends came over and stuff like that. Because when I moved in, there was no furniture down there. There was one chair, one like overstuffed chair, and really only one person could fit comfortably on the chair. So I decided to make this stuff for them, and I'm like, well, let's just take that stuff to the town. We have the table that was in the basement, just an old table that he had before he bought the new one. And then our bed. And it's not even the bed that we were using there. We had a king bed. Now we're using the queen bed that I had bought when I first needed to buy a bed like years ago. But the bed is still in great condition because it barely got slept on. I used it for a few years and then moved in with him, and the only time it got used was when people came over. So yeah, that's really all for big stuff we have in the townhome. Our computer desk. So yeah, and so got rid of all that stuff on the marketplace, and we'll probably have another marketplace. We'll probably do that again before we move. Not really sure what we're gonna get rid of. Besides some of the smaller stuff, the first time I really didn't want to put all that smaller stuff on there. I didn't want to worry about it. My one aunt usually has a garage sale every year that all the family goes to if they need to sell anything. So she's having that in a couple of weeks. So I already have 2 carloads. And when I say carloads, I drive a Mazda 6. It's got a huge trunk, so it fits a lot of shit in it. And so 2 carloads over there already. I have another one that's in the garage here, sitting here, that still needs to go, and still kind of piling up the stuff. So yeah, and everything's going to be going cheap, and so yeah, it's been crazy just trying to get rid of all the crap that you have little nooks and crannies to hide it in. It's crazy. Yeah, so it's actually really hard trying not to collect anything. Oh, and especially food. Yeah, food is, so when we moved in to the townhome, we're like, okay, we can't go out to eat anymore. We have to eat at home, and we have to like eat all this food before we leave. It's like, otherwise, what else are we going to do with it besides just give it away? I will probably bring some to the food shelves or whatever, and what we don't use. A lot of it is canned soup. Believe it or not, we have a lot of canned soup. And now that it's summertime, I really don't want to eat soup. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so it's actually not really going all that well. We've been actually living in the townhome for about a month, and yeah, we haven't eaten any soup yet. Well, besides cream of mushroom or cream of chicken or something that we put in something. So yeah, it's getting rid of everything. And like I said, I'm more of the sentimental person. Like, for instance, I kept a small box of movies. I'm a movie fanatic, and I had a huge thing of movies. So yeah, so right now we're actually watching all those movies that I decided that I had to keep. And once we watch them, then they go to the garage sale box. I think there's maybe 15 to 20 left to watch. So that's a good thing. So yeah, just, yeah, it, the townhome really doesn't feel like, I mean, it feels like home to me, but it doesn't, because I can't really put pictures up on the wall because, well, they're getting sold at the garage sale. I did put a couple up in the living room area, one family one and a couple travel ones that I wanted to see. I still might take those down and sell them at the garage sale. But when we have the garage sale, it's not coming back. It's either going to Savers or Goodwill, whatever. And yeah, I'm probably gonna get yelled at for putting like cheap prices on everything. So yeah. If you want to see our furniture, that my husband says that we're living like college kids. Yeah, so it's like kind of back in the college days. Let me see if I can figure out how to flip this. Maybe I'm not going to be able to figure it out. Probably not. So I'm just going to flip it this way. So here's some couches and chairs that a couch and a chair. It's out of pallets that I made, and then my mom helped me cover the cushions. And then we got 2 beanbag chairs. So, and those are so comfortable. And my husband agrees, and he has actually found a way to get out of them because we're not in our 20s anymore. And so it is, it's like, help. Yeah, it's really hard, but we figured it out and we got it down to a T, and they're comfortable, but this is our life now. And it's going to be, I don't know, even more different when we go down to Panama. So that's our downsizing story. Until next time.